Hey folks, welcome back to Bear Mountain. Today we're in our hoop house 4, which has our some of our flowers in it and definitely our overwintering greens. And one of the things from a flower perspective we need to make a change on is we've got these Delphinium here. These are Guardian series Delphinium, so they're not the super huge type like Pacific Giants, but we need to move these guys, transplant about 20 plants at the back end of this bed to fill in the area right here that we've had some die off over the last couple of seasons. So it's really pretty spotty and towards the middle of the bed. And that'll free up probably a good 10 feet of additional bed space for veg back there. And so we have our lettuce transplants. I don't know, you remember we did a video a while back on that. They're up in the greenhouse right now, beginning to grow a little bit, but that's kind of the area we want to start putting lettuce transplants in. And then you can kind of see that the lettuce from that we planted over winter is getting near the end. The romaine, we've been picking on it, but it's gotten pretty far ahead of us. There's still another week or two of picking left on it, but those guys are going to be pretty much finished probably by the 20th of March or so. The spinach is coming kind of out of its winter dormancy, so we're really getting some pretty good leaf size now on these guys, and we'll be harvesting on them at least till the end of the month. So that's pretty good. It's given us greens all the way from pretty much the first part of December all the way to the end of March. So that patch of approximately between the two beds of about 20 feet has kept us in salad all winter long, so it's really worked out well. And our kale got a little cold last night, so it's a little wilty this morning, but it should pick up. It's been producing fantastic. We're getting some nice, really good sized leaves. So this has got a few more weeks on it too here in the hoop house, because when we get to the end of March in the hoop house, we're going to be looking at daytime temperatures in here, particularly when it's sunny. Even when it's vented, it's going to be well into the high 70s, and we'll probably even get a few days where it gets into the 80s, which is going to be a little more difficult for things like kale, and a little more difficult for the anemones and the ranunculus. The anemones, we've been cutting on those guys now for, this will be our 3rd month of taking bouquets off of them. So they've been doing really well. The Jadam fertilizing and all that kind of stuff really gave us a nice, good, strong plant. The ranunculus is just coming on. So they've got a couple of weeks there. And then the next thing we're going to be doing in here after we get these guys moved and transplant the greens in, we got to get our first potatoes in of the season. And the reason I know it's now time to plant potatoes is because I have a lot of volunteers in an area where we had last fall tried to plant potatoes and they didn't really germinate. Now they're germinating. So it's definitely, they're living in here now. Even though it's been cold at night, they're doing pretty well. It's time to start thinking about putting the spring potatoes in too. So let's get at it. I'll get the cats out of the way. They seem to want to help me a lot today. I don't know why I got so many cats. Anyway, they're really nice. They keep the vermin out of the hoop house, and so far they really haven't done any damage to anything either. So they've been pretty well behaved. So I'm going to transplant about 20 of these Guardian series up, which is going to free up 10 space, and I'm going to fill this in, so let's get at it. Well, we got these guys dug out, and the thing I guess I want to show folks here is that most of the roots for the Delphinium are actually pretty shallow, so you can kind of see the root mass. These plants are probably about 4, maybe almost 5 years old at this point, but they're going to be an easy thing to transplant back, and then what we're going to do is dig the hole for them, put them in, kind of, get them set in, and then water them real good for a couple of days to get them set in real well and get them recovered. There's about probably 25 plants in here, some of them pretty good size, some of them pretty small. So I'm going to make sure I get all the big ones first, and these are all kind of the same color. They're kind of a pastel-y kind of look to them, a little bit on the blue side, some of them, but they should all take pretty well because our temperatures aren't super hot yet, so should just be a couple days for them to get up to snuff. Well, we got 24 plants lined out, and this should fill us up pretty good. We'll have about a 20-foot section of Delphinium, which is nice. So the total row length here is just a little bit under 75 feet. And so 20 of it is going to be Delphinium flowers, and the rest of it will be veg. So let's get them dug in and planted. Well, this is it. They're all in. We got 25 in, and it looks like it's pretty good in terms of spacing. We're about 10 to 12 inches apart, and so far they're not too wilted, but I got to get some water on them. We'll get that done, and I think that should wrap this project up. Well, folks, we got it done, and this is just kind of a quick project. Just kind of wanted to bring you along on it, something to do on well, we had kind of a nice sunny day today, which is kind of great. So we got it all in. There's a little bit of wilting on the flowers, but they're really watered in really well. We'll keep an eye on them for the next couple of days, but they should be fine. They really didn't have any problems with the nighttime temperatures. We had no frost cloth on these guys, and they were still doing okay. So I think they'll be just fine. So just want to say thanks a lot for coming along on this one. And as always, stay safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.